I am not sitting comfortably. Let's see whether we can't do this better. Okay, careful, careful. Got my doggy with me as ever. Okay, folks, Friday night. I am definitely not so comfortable. What's wrong? I need a little bit more on my right hand side. That's not right. Close, but not right. You think I would learn by now, wouldn't you? Alright, we're nearly there. Whoops. I think I just magnified. Alright, let's get chat open. Live chat, all messages rather than the default top chat. We'll give people a few minutes to arrive. I did push this one out today on Twitter and the YouTube community stuff. My tweet, or whatever you call them nowadays, my excretion, was seen by a massive 4 people. That's how well Twitter does for me. I post something, gets seen by 4. And I was probably one of them checking on the damn thing. So that's no good. All right, people starting to arrive. Oh no, they were starting to arrive. They've left already. Okay, we'll give it a minute. I'll have a sip of my coffee. I made it about quarter of an hour ago. Finished making it about quarter of an hour ago. So it's probably scalding hot still, especially in the insulated cup. Yeah, pretty hot. Now, as I was making it, a guy came out of the field from under one of the trees. What I'm not sure of is if it's the new guy in the field. I couldn't see in the dark properly. I don't know if it's the new guy in the field or if it was just some random person. But the field isn't exactly, you can't exactly walk through it anymore. Everything's overgrown. So I'll have to ask him in the morning if it was him or not. A little bit strange. Got that. Okay. So, what kind of week have we all had? I'm not sure what kind of week I've had. The days have all merged to the point where I can't remember when certain things were. I'd have to look back through my notes. We had a day where it literally rained all day. That would probably have been Tuesday, I think. Had a friend arrive in country Monday, and it was the day after. It literally just rained, I think from like 4 or 5 in the morning, right the way through. A couple of little gaps where I managed to get out and walk Tina. But sat here with the picnic blanket, which I've just noticed isn't here now. I haven't taken it off. So that's a little strange. Have I taken it off? Oh, I have. Okay. Apparently I folded it up. Dog must have got caught in it earlier. But I was sat here with bowls and water dripping through the roof all over the place. The entire tent is, the floor is squelchy and waterlogged. Yeah, I got to look into that. I don't think that that is from water coming through the roof. There were a few drips in fixed places with bowls under them. There might have been an area where I missed, but it shouldn't be the squelchy wet carpet that I've got at the minute. So I think what's happened there is the water coming down the sides of the tent, hitting the plastic sheet that the tent is sat on, and coming under and in. So I have gone around the tent and tried to tuck that under, lift the tent up and fold that plastic sheet under, so water running down the outside of the walls at least hits the ground rather than a plastic sheet. Got a little bit more to do. I didn't get it all, but yeah, it's a little bit. Now we've got a week of good weather ahead, or fairly good weather, I think, although tomorrow's cloudy all day, so but not rainy as far as I know. We'll have to see how that goes. So we had that wet day, and obviously I got zero. I didn't get a single watt of power that day. Had to make it through. Had to make it through on using the harshest power saving mode on the tablet. The SIM card is still in the tablet. So when the phone ran out of power, I just left that dead for the next day. Yeah, things are a bit touch and go, but we managed okay in the end for power, which, as you know, is my I need power for entertainment, folks. The YouTubery, also for my lights, like the lamp that you can't see at the moment, but also these fine Christmas lights, fairy lights. UK Richie was listening to Jethro Tull and missed the start of the stream. That's okay, mate. Was he on the flute? If I remember, Jethro Tull is the flautist, kind of a rock flautist. Was, I'm not sure. 70s probably, mainly. You don't get much in the way of flutes in pop and rock music nowadays, but yeah, the ones that do it are quite notable. So I think I've got the right one there. But yeah, awesome flute solo action. Yeah, all that. Is it the double tongue and triple tongue? They can kind of play 3 notes in quick succession, and yeah. No, I'm not. I'm not saying that one. I shall. For once, I shall censor myself. Let me have a sip of the coffee before I say something I shouldn't say. But yeah, musicians, fun stuff. I couldn't name a single Jethro Tull track, but I know that I watched a documentary once, probably on YouTube. Would you expect? I would imagine it would have been. Let me have a quick check. Is there anybody else? There was me with my pinned comment. So okay, just UK Richie in chat at the minute. Come and say hello, folks. Come talk to a tramp. That's why you're here. Friday night hangout, TrampCast Hangout with a tramp. We haven't introduced my little lady yet. Is she? Are you awake still, babe? Yeah, you were, aren't you? But you got your back to me. You're not going to say hello to the peoples? Let me have a see. Let me try. I have to unplug the phone a little bit. Remind me to plug it back in because it is quite low. I have managed to go live with the phone on like 38% or something daft. Oh, it was on 38 half an hour ago. It's on 60 now. Let me. Here we go with the light. Hey, babe. Hey. You say hello to the nice peoples. No. I know you don't like the light. I know. You're trying to get off the bed, really, aren't you? Into the gutter down the side. Got a couple of little biddies flying around us. People saying hello. I can't see who. Okay, there's Hannah, and UK Richie said hi as well. Tina girl. Okay, let me leave her alone. You know she doesn't actually like having that light shining at her. Let me see if I can remember to plug the USB cable back in. Still not right on the comfort, folks. I'm still not sitting right. We will adapt and adjust. Eco flow on 82%. Got to be a little bit wary that tomorrow is scheduled to be another one of these overcast days that might have zero sun. So we'll have to be a little bit careful with power. That's the last I looked. I could check again. You know how these things can change. Oh, the other day. Oh man. So the day that it did rain, I'm going to say it was Tuesday. Fairly certain it was. And got one forecast app telling me 16 millimeters of rain in the whole day, and I got another app telling me 16 millimeters of rain in 1 hour, right at the start of the day. Fortunately, that didn't happen. Weather forecast. Let's have a quick look. Okay, a little bit of sunshine from 4 o'clock onwards tomorrow. Maybe 3 o'clock onwards, according to... Okay. We shall see. This morning was glorious. What? 7:30? Sunshine on the side of the tent, but not where my solar panel was because of the trees. Had to wait. You know, we're getting usable power now from like 8:20 onwards, which is quite nice as we start getting into summer, or inching towards summer, or at least towards spring, I guess. We're starting to get power on the solar panel earlier and earlier. Even though the panel's broken still, I still haven't bought a panel yet, but I'm going to take care of that in the next week or two. I got another thing that I'm looking at and that might come off. I'm not sure yet. I think I mentioned it last week. The possibility of another EcoFlow. I've made an offer. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. With some extra backup power. So when I'm looking at the solar panels, folks, I can buy a single panel for €55. But for 90, I can get 2. And if I've got a second EcoFlow, might be worthwhile. 2 of these, you know, the flexible ones, not the folding, but the lightweight, flexible poly. I'm not sure are they polycarbonate? I'm not sure of the terminology. Hannah's asking how am I doing. I'm good. I'm okay with myself. I see Jasper. I was just watching a couple of your videos, Jasper. You're definitely going through the what's the words? Through the wars at the minute, I guess is the expression we used to use. Got to be careful with that one a little bit at the minute. But our pal Jasper here isn't in the best of health. Sounds like acid reflux, but yeah. Marie's here. Hello, Marie. Just here for a while. Hope everyone is good. I certainly am. I'm okay for now. Bare Bones from the UK. Bare Bones 404. Hello, hello. Always nice to see a new name. I don't know what that is. Is that the tablet? I have put do not disturb mode on the phone just so that anyone with headphones isn't getting oh UK Richie. What are you doing, lad? Thank you. Locomotive Breath. Is this the name of is this a track by who were we talking about? The flautist Jethro Tull. He of the crop rotation, if I remember correctly. Is that right? Jethro Tull was the guy, obviously not the flautist, but same name. I assume he borrowed it from him. Is it crop rotation? Or was it a specific device? Now I have to find out, folks. We come here for the knowledge. I'm going to put Jethro Tull. But we're looking at like the 17th century or something, aren't we? Not the rock band. Agriculturist. Agriculturist. Yeah, that's him. Him with the white powdered wig. 1674. Did I say 17th century or did I say 1700? I guess he bridged the two, Basildon. Okay. Agriculturists bring about British agricultural revolution, perfected a horse-drawn seed drill. Okay, so he wasn't crop rotation. He was the inventor of a seed drill. And later a horse-drawn hoe. Now, don't be telling your own jokes. Born 1674, died 1741. That's not bad for that age, for that time, is it? Age 66. Seed drill and horse-drawn hoe. Hold on. Now I need to go back. I've locked myself out. I need to go back and ask who was the crop rotation then. I've got Turner or Turnbull or something in my head now, but that's... Hold on. Crop rotation. Inventor? I'm going to go with inventor. It sounds wrong. Oh, George Washington Carver. No, that's much more recent. Him of the Peanuts, wasn't it? No, I'm going back. I'm centuries before that. UK. We're back in the 16th, 17th century again. Come on. Charles Turnip Townsend. That's the one I'm thinking of. The four-course crop rotation. Don't you leave a field fallow. Wheat, turnips, barley, clover. So no fallow. Turnip Townsend. There you go, folks. It's not what you came for, but you got an education anyway. Cheers. I'm gonna check whether my chat's frozen or whether I'm just boring you and you're not talking to me. No one's talking to me. Okay. Did you have to read a book at school that read At Home First Book Boy with Silver Sword and Sweeney Todd at primary school? Doesn't sound like something I know about. We didn't know about I don't think we covered Sweeney Todd at our school at all. Not maybe in high school it got mentioned. Not sure. Gotta respect the crop rotations of old Turnip Townsend. Yeah. I guess it's like what's the Three Sisters one with wheat, beans, and how does that go? It's not wheat, corn, beans, and a third thing. So you've got the corn, the beans climb up the corn, and then you want something to cover the ground. Is it? What do they use? I'm gonna say it's some kind of squash, maybe, like pumpkins or something. Here we go again, folks. Here we go again. We should make a book of my tangential Three Sisters crop. Three Sisters planting. not the book by Anton Chekhov. No. Traditional indigenous companion planting technique, corn, beans and squash, there you go, in a symbiotic triad. Corn provides a tall, sturdy pole for beans to climb. Beans fix nitrogen in the soil to fertilize it, and the squash spreads across the ground, retaining moisture and deterring pests. There you go. I guessed it was squashes, but I wasn't 100% sure. They didn't exist when I was a kid. Didn't know what a squash was. The only squash that we knew about was the cordial. Pumpkins we heard of because of America and Halloween, but I'd never seen one. Didn't taste one until I was probably 30 before I tasted a pumpkin. Didn't know how to cook. When I moved to Spain, and they've got butternut squashes and what's the spaghetti squash thing? They got them in the shop, but I didn't know how to prepare them. We didn't. Remember one year my mum using power tools to try and drill out a turnip to make a lantern for Halloween. Yeah, no. Squashes didn't exist when I was a kid. Never heard of one, never saw one, never tasted one. I don't know whether that's just because I'm a poor Barnsley lad or what, but don't know. Did you like school dinners, and did you get more? I did food. I loved school dinners. Yeah, at primary school it was a proper sit-down meal every day. They'd put a couple of older kids on the table, so you had a table sitting 8, 2 of which were older kids. By older, I'm talking about they were 9 or 10 while you were 7 or 8. Proper sit down. The dinner ladies brought like serving containers, and the older kids dished out for everybody. And yeah, we sat there and we ate heartily and ate plenty, and we had to eat properly. You were made to use knives and forks properly by the teachers, and the headmaster would walk around every now and again and correct anyone who was doing it wrong. Especially if you turned your fork like the wrong way up to try and scoop up peas, they would tell you off. Even though that's just like the most obvious way to eat peas, with it as a shovel. But no, I appreciate the fact when you watch. Oh God, I'm gonna go off on one here, but when you watch Americans eat, it's all that hand swapping malarkey and not knowing how to cut things properly, and putting the fork forward and the knife this side of the fork while they're cutting things, and just it's back in the day when people sat down as a family to eat properly, and I don't know, Americans seem to have skipped that. I'm not going to go off on one on that. I've discussed that one previously, but I watch a lot of these programs of these YouTube videos of Americans moving to Europe or watching how different things are in Europe, and yeah, there are some entertaining things. UK Richard was a fan of school dinners, many weren't. Yeah, the only thing that I didn't like so much, well, I guess there's two. So we had the spam fritters. I learnt to love later on, but I didn't like spam fritters for a long time. Spam fritters, and then the other stuff, the tapioca, isn't it? The bubbles like frog spawn. Is that tapioca or sago? What's sago? Oh, I can't even remember what it is I don't like. It's the frog spawn one that I didn't like. Just the texture. It wasn't so much the taste. But no, in general, loved my school dinners, especially primary school. High school was more, what would you call it? More conveyor belt. You walked along and picked what you wanted out of the different, or different dinner ladies spooning stuff as you went along, and it became more chips. It became chips, and chips to a greater degree. Wasn't, and then when we moved from Barnsley to Morecambe, that was just much more canteen style, cafeteria style, much more. It was just pizza and chips, chicken and chips. It was just chips and chips. Then we started going out. We left school. We weren't allowed to, but we all left the school grounds and went to a chip shop in town. Yeah, I wish we had the money. If the dinner money was enough to stretch that far. Chips and peas, or pie and chips, or if you were really rich, fish and chips. But that wasn't too often. I'm just scrolling back to make sure I didn't miss anything. Remember, Tip Top with straw always made me cough from drinking it. Tip Top. It's a cream type thing. I got half a recollection of something, but I'm not 100% sure. UK Richie, fan of school dinners, many people weren't. No, a lot of people used to complain, but I never understood what they were complaining about. Especially, like I said, primary school, infants and juniors. No, we had fantastic food. There was always seconds if you wanted seconds. I remember me and a girl, Jane Wood, we would sit there and eat and eat and eat. And what I didn't realise was why she was eating so much. I guess I shouldn't say because I've named her now. Let's just say not everybody was well fed at home. I was just greedy. So UK Richard was a pea shoveler, but you weren't as closely monitored as we were. Yeah, no, we had having the two older kids at the table, the dinner ladies milling around, and then the school headmaster walking between the different. So the way that school was set up, and it was a new school. It was actually late opening, so for the first 2 months of school, I went to a different school. So when I was like 4.5, however old you are when you start primary school, I had to go to a different school for a couple of months because this one hadn't opened. It ended up opening on November the 5th, Bonfire Night, 1973. Yeah. But the layout was every two classrooms shared a vestibule, like a mini hallway, and that was the dining area, and also some joint activities between two classes at once. Especially if a teacher was ill or something and they needed cover, you'd have one teacher take the two classes together. And we were fairly large classes as it were, 30, 35, sometimes 40 in a class. So when you start merging two classes together with one teacher, quite a lot of us running around. But that was the dining room for each group. So the headmaster would move around between the 4 or 5 kind of little dining rooms, just supervising, checking that everything was okay. And then after you finish and you go outside to play football or whatever, the dinner ladies that had cooked the food and supervised you eating are then supervising you playing out in the playground. But they always stood right behind the goal. Jumpers for goalposts, so there's no proper goal, there's no net. You're running around on a concrete, it wasn't concrete, it was like tarmac surface. But you're blasting the ball to score a goal, and the dinner ladies keep standing right behind the goal. And then complaining when they got hit by the ball. Yeah. Fond memories. That was sago, not tapioca. I've got no idea. What is sago? Never come across it in my adult life. It's not even I dragged the name up from nowhere, and I had no. I need to know what sago is. Is tapioca the one that's Durham wheat? Sago, what is it? Oh, why is the answer in fucking Spanish? Sago in English. English word. Starchy edible substance extracted from the spongy center of tropical palm stems, notably Metroxylin sagu palm. Still, I'm none the wiser. Small white pearls or powder used to thicken soups, make puddings, or in desserts. Often confused with, but is distinct from tapioca. There you go. I'm literally none the wiser. It's from a palm tree, apparently. I have not come across. It's not like you walk down the aisle in the supermarket and there's a bag of it there or something. A bag pot. You know, you get little pots of rice puddings and of yogurt and everything, but you don't get sago, do you? You don't get your frog spawn. That was super enriched. Oscar arriving on the scene. So at Jasper School, sit at table, teacher dish out food. If anyone didn't like it, he'd ask for more. Sometimes in scullery looking for leftovers. Scullery? What kind of posh school are you at? Scullery. Was it not in the butler's pantry? Why is this rocking? That's annoying. Big jugs of, custard or chocolate vanilla, or what was this, strawberry blancmange? Or sometimes we had the pineapple upside down cake. Oh, yeah. Pineapple upside down cake, folks. At Christmas, we got served coffee. Once a year, you'd get coffee. I think it must have been the last day of school before Christmas. UK Rich had little metal tins to bring in lunch money. Some kids had coupons hidden in the tin because their family couldn't afford school dinners. So the way it worked, my high school, everybody bought, you'd go in and you would buy tickets, at the start of the week. And if you were hard up, if your family was hard up, you went to a different room and you were just given the tickets, which were just the same as everyone else's. Yeah. Primary school, it was all just free. There was no paying, I don't think. Don't think so. I remember taking some money into primary school, but I think that was for the tuck shop. Or it was a trolley came around. The tuck. Back, see, remember when Snaps first came out? 2p a bag. 2p a bag. 1970. That must have been about 74 or 75. I was already at school. Let's have a look. Let's look up what year Snaps came out. Those were the in thing to get from the trolley. Snaps, crisps. Discontinued. We don't want to hear that. Hold on. Spicy tomato snaps are no more. Oh no, I'm shocked. That's But that's part of my childhood gone. When was it introduced? Introduced. 66? Really? So they must have just been new to our area or to our school or something. I thought I remembered them being introduced. Hold on. There's something about them only being sold in the Leicestershire and Midlands area to begin with. And now the page isn't loading. Come on. No, we got a spinning. No. Oh, okay. Whoa. What am I looking at? I'm looking at a blurry photo of a page. I can't even read that. My eyes can't focus on that. That's no good to me. No. That says 1973, but it's so blurred I can't. Oh, it says 71. That's how blurry it is. Decimalization introduced. Yeah. No, I can't read that. And now, why am I in Facebook? I don't do Facebook. Not if I can avoid it. Okay, folks, I was wrong. For once. It happens every now and again. 1979 was the last time. That's what I like to tell myself. So snaps must have just been new to my area or to my school in 74 or 5, whenever that was. Definitely remember them in twopence a bag though. Okay, where are we? There's Farmer. Hello, mate. Here he goes. Welcome, hello, everyone, everybody, everywhere. Pound, smash, poke, prod, press, push, punch, slap, chop, not chomp, chop, bump, tap, flick, kick, click, lick, rub, slam the like button, and consider subscribing, folks. Let's have a look. Oh, is there panic buying on the fuel still? Okay. Yeah, but the Strait of Hormuz is off limits, and now whatever that area is called on the way to the Suez Canal. Yeah, because of those. What are they called? The Houthis, whatever they're called. Which are not the same Houthis as the what was the country with the machetes and cutting people's heads like melons in the 90s? They had a similar name, didn't they? That tribe. Hutus and Tutsis? Tutsis doesn't sound right. What country am I thinking of? 90s civil war in Africa, and they were running around with machetes, chopping each other's heads like watermelons. 1990s Africa civil war, not Zaire. That's not how you spell Africa. Civil war. Houthi. How am I going to spell Houthi? I'll give it a bad guess and we'll see where we go. Rwanda, that was it. Hutu and Tutsi. Hutu. So I'm mangling the name of the two tribes. Hutu in Rwanda and Houthi in Yemen. There you go. The Rwandan Civil War, 1990 to 1994. Yeah, that was a bad one. That was a bad one. Didn't it start when a plane got shot down with the Deputy Prime Minister or something on, or Prime Minister? Super gas went from 143 to 157 a litre. That's a jump. 10% rise in a day. We must have grown a lot of sago palms in England in the 70s. God, that stuff was everywhere. Almost every week we had the frog spawn. So is tapioca the smoother one? That's the one, and we'd put the jam in. We'd put the strawberry jam in the middle of that, and zhuzh it up to get a plate full of a bowl full of kind of red or pink. I'm going to say that's semolina. Jasper whoa, it jumped. Jasper avoided rugby. Let me get back to that. Avoided rugby, was not allowed to play football because I didn't have football boots. But whoa, steel toe cap, did you say? That's a little bit fab. The lollipop ice cream thing. Didn't have football boots, but had steel cap shoes. Often ended up fouling the other team, not on purpose. There's Zami. Hello, Zami. No panic buying, just frigging expensive. Yeah. Special school for bad kids or learning difficulties. Okay. Yeah, I remember the fab. Do I? Was the fab the one that was rocket shaped? Oh, I'm not sure. Some stations are, petrol stations are rationing. A different world, yeah. 1975, I was 7, says Jasper. So was I, mate. Born in 68. UK Rich is a bit younger, same age as my brother. Can you be a negative age? I don't know, but I want to start counting backwards now. Jasper's using the phone. His laptop is infected. Okay, wanted to read Old Beano and Topper, and then lots of pop-ups. Must get computer fixed. AVG used to be my antivirus of choice, but didn't they get hacked a little while back? UK Rich's car is running on vapors, but I'm sure petrol will come down again sometime soon. I don't know about soon. Gotta get they're having to bring the tankers around Cape of Good Hope, aren't they? Around Africa, rather than through the Suez Canal and what have you. Tutsis and Hutus was indeed Rwanda, UK Richie. I think I butchered their names, but yeah. Australia are in panic crisis. There's a clear run to Australia, though, isn't there? What's the problem there? Farmer's been busy today, hasn't seen the news much. Whoa, jumping, it jumped. Wow, how far has it jumped? Okay, not too far. It's incredible to me how much oil in this country we couldn't have some refineries producing for solely Canada, says Fabrizio. Some stations were 143, some were 157. It actually went up from 120 to 157. That's incredible. That's a 20% rise or more. Greece semolina is frog spawn, says Jasper. I got a feeling we got. What's tapioca then? I'm lost on all these different. Sago, tapioca, semolina. I'll just stick with the pink blancmange. Oh, let me see whether I can. I can't. This shoulder is getting worse. I think it's from carrying Tina. Cheers, folks. Still on the coffee for now. Oh, Tommy Tombstone enters the arena. Hello, Tom. Showing clips of Canadians carrying cans and not allowed more than 10 litres each. Jesus. Tom's having a bad day. A bit of a bad mood. And keep it shut where possible. Was about to suggest a fish, but that's tilapia. Oh, tilapia. I was looking at that. Yeah. I watched somebody with them in an IBC, you know, an international bulk container, not carrier, bulk container. One of those like meter by a meter by a meter that you get water or other such things in. Yeah, someone had cut the top off and they were farming tilapia and what's it called? The duckweed? That sounds wrong. But I think duckweed for protein on the surface. Tilapia in the container with an aquarium pump for oxygenation. Yeah. Whoa, Tina girl, you're kicking me. What's wrong? You dreaming? Are you dreaming, babe? I think you're still asleep, aren't you? Even though I'm tickling. Hey. I think she's starting to run in her sleep, and I catch the legs when they spasm in her sleep. Farmers put slurry on fields and no rain. I had held my breath. Terrible smell. Oh, when they're doing the muck spreading. Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's that time of year, isn't it? Get the fertilizer on. Let it bed in a bit before planting. Raw manure burns crops, isn't it? You have to have it kind of rot in a little bit first. Is my understanding. Not that I'm an expert on any of these things, but I've been watching a bit of gardening stuff lately. So that if I ever get back to real life, I would have some kind of survival garden thing going on. Growing some crops, maybe raising a bit of livestock. Nothing too adventurous. Maybe a bit of quail, a few rabbits. Maybe some tilapia. Get the IBCs loaded up in the garden. Yeah, hope you're all right, Tom. Tommy Tombstone. Um, Chuff up, mate, as we would say back home. Chuff up, cheer up. Why? I have got a beer open as well. Can we ask Tom? Can we ask? Is there a specific? Is there a specific issue? Anything you'd like to share with the group? We're here to help. Put on my best counsellor voice and impression. Okay, folks, what kind of week have we all had? How's the weather been where we all are? It's been a bit mixed here. We've had cloudy days, we've had rainy days, and then we've had a couple of fantastically good days. Just, was it yesterday and today? Today, certainly. I'm trying to remember yesterday. I think yesterday was okay, yeah. Yeah, my mate Tom came around and brought me like a, I don't know how to describe it, some buttered bread and some stuff to put on the bread. Kind of build your own sandwich kind of meal. Sat outside talking with him, and then the new guy in the field came over and sat and had a chat. Very mixed in Cumbria, can't complain. It's that time of year, isn't it? As we transition from winter into spring, you start getting some warmer air, starts mixing with the cooler air, rain. Oh, we had thunder and lightning as well the other day. Tina never likes that. So the day that rained, when it rained all day, there was thunder and lightning, and baby, it's frightening. She was shaking like a leaf most of the day. Started fairly early, and some of the thunderclaps were particularly particular. The rolling, rumbling ones that go on for like 30, 40 seconds. Mainly they were off in the distance, so you'd see the flash, and you've got quite a gap between the flash and the thunder. But we had a couple that were. I'm not going to say they were overhead, but they were a lot nearer, and they were really loud. You know the measurement, so it's 5 seconds. 5 seconds for a mile. The difference between thunder and lightning. 3 seconds for a kilometre. So whichever unit of measure you want to use, them's your timings. We've been told that complaining about the weather is forbidden. Mustn't grumble, lol. Well, that's either the stiff upper lip or tyranny. Who's telling you can't complain? If it's your mum or dad, that's one thing. If it's the government, that's different. Oh, jumping. Oh, it jumped quite a way back. Canada just on the news again. Cars restricted to 30 litres. Provincial government considering bringing in Canadian armed forces to manage situation in certain areas of British Columbia. Looking serious. Do you really import that much? And is it from the Middle East? I thought the whole America, Canada, I thought you all had plenty of all that stuff. I don't understand. I know nothing. Greatest Jerry is here. Hello, hello. Happy Friday. Yeah, for a little while, isn't it? I got another hour here. Only the Americans have done the time change thing as well, haven't they? Have Canada. Does the whole of North America do the time change thing at the same time? Farmhouse here, he's our resident Canuck. So I know that America did the daylight savings time, as they call it, on Sunday. Did Canada as well, or do you stay separate from them? How far back has it jumped? It's can't have any oil, or is it all imports? It's all light. Here we go, Tommy Tombstone. All lies. There was an excuse to tighten the prices. Plenty of oil and gas here still, among other things. And this computer tube. Hello, hello. Evening all, he says. Hope everyone okay. Lurking in the background. Lurking is allowed, although we do prefer participation. But we often have lurkers. Missing my mouth again. Itchy nose. We have the oil sands, quite a lot of oil and gas. That's gas heating, not the other gas, although it does happen. Oh, I saw a name that... what's going on here? Ahmadinejad. Butchered it. Ahmadinejad. No, I put two D's in again, didn't I? Ahmadinejad in Iran was born a Jew, the enemy of Israel. All the nations of the world are conquered. It's a matter of integrating various types of slaves. We're off on the conspiracy theories and things now. For the populace to accept the monumental changes coming to society and our way of life, appropriate crisis must be ginned up. People saying hello to each other. Armoured dinner jackets. Okay, yeah, I mean, I did butcher it myself a little bit there, but... how does Iran keep finding people called Khomeini? They keep putting them in and getting them killed, and they go out and find another guy with the same surname, or very, similar enough that I can't tell the bloody difference. I don't know if that's bordering on racism or not, I don't know, but they keep finding them, don't they? Ever since the one in the 70s, everyone's been called Khomeini, or something so similar I can't spot the difference. Where do they find them? And if I was over there and that was my surname, I'd be fucking worried. Okay, we're about to hit the 1 hour. I don't think this will be a 4-hour one today, folks. I didn't manage to get my nap beforehand. Almost fell asleep somewhere around 6:30, and just as I'm nodding off, Tina decided to bark. And after that, I got close to having a nap at one point. I got close to sleep, but I ended up wide awake and just watching videos. So, probably won't be a long one. That's interesting. I would have gone with lobe, L-O-B, lobotomy, because it's to do with lobes of the brain, isn't it? And separating the different lobes. pushing a pin in through somewhere at the side of the eye and through. Then they do it with like a hat pin. Not sure. I would have gone with the LOB just because of lobes. But I don't know. Hammer it in with a hammer. Just checking. I'm fairly sure it's to do with lobes and therefore. Let's have a check. Lobotomy. Or leucotomy. Obsolete, controversial neurosurgical procedure involved severing connections in the brain's prefrontal lobe to treat severe mental illness. Popularized in the 40s and 50s, often left patients with severe personality changes, intellectual decline, emotional blunting, or in a vegetative state. Plural. Eventually replaced by antipsychotic drugs. ECT as well, though, yeah? Electroconvulsive therapy was often used. Which... Yeah, I would, yeah. So, is this... Hold on. Is this the same Gary? Have we got multiple Garys in the house, or have we changed the account name? RSA, Republic of South Africa. It's the same Gary. Shock therapy, yeah, electroconvulsive therapy. I think they've stopped that in the UK now. I think, but I know that my wife's grandma, had that, and it did change her, by all accounts. Just change your handle, okay, mate. So it does kind of work, but there's another thing now, isn't there, where they put a like a mesh under the skull and run low frequency or low current through it to help with some conditions. I think it was more Parkinson's and stuff like that, neurological. What was that called? And do they still do it? For a while they were doing it with like a mesh on the outside of the skull, but then they started taking the top off and putting the mesh inside. Mainly Parkinson's, I think, but possibly also Alzheimer's. Not sure. I wouldn't even know what search terms to look for that one. Let's see if I can dream up some search terms. So it's an electrical mesh under the skull. Electrical mesh under skull. Under skull. Mesh electronics, a cutting-edge flexible neural interface used for stimulating or recording brain activity. Neural lace. There you go. Some new terms to look up. Neural lace. And what was the other one? Mesh electronics. Oh, yeah. Not great in an MRI. No. Yeah. Got to be careful when you get X-rays or MRIs. Have the metal ripped right out of your head. Probably. Let me scroll back a little bit. I think microdosing might be a better option. It rebuilds neural pathways. UK Richie, I take some pretty powerful antipsychotic medication and would have been butchered by 50 psychiatrists. Thankfully, I live a good life unmedicated. My mum had schizophrenia and, yeah. On the whole, she was balanced, but every now and again, stuff would go out of whack. A couple of episodes where she ended up in the hospital for a little while. At one point, I was 17 looking after, well, I would say looking after my brother and sister. They would argue. But yeah, we spent about 3 months with me as the head of the household. No help from any, no help from any authorities, any health professionals. So I was 17, kind of working. I think sister would be 18 months younger, so she's doing 15 and a half. Brother would be 7 years younger, so 10 or thereabouts. I'm sure at 17 I shouldn't legally have been in that position. But we didn't want the authorities down on top of us, so we got by, as you do. You adapt, you overcome. Gary stopped meds in 2021, won't ever go back on, especially Seroquel and lithium. Gary was on 8 different meds and made him a zombie. And UK Richie says that's awful when it happens. Glad you're okay. Okay, folks. Let's not overshare. Don't be careful not to share anything that you don't want to put out there. We are in public. We are on the interwebs. Thumbs up, folks, if you haven't already. I never really did the intro, did I? There may be people out there that are watching that have got no idea what this therapy session is. Okay, folks. The channel is Delta Mike, down and out in Torrevieja. I am the eponymous hero of said channel, Delta Mike, or at least I play him on the internet. Down and out, well, that's homeless, a tramp, a hobo, a vagrant, an indigent person, a person of no fixed abode, some might say a bum, someone who lives rough, perhaps sleeps on the streets, or in my case, in a field. In a tent in a field nowadays, but it wasn't always thus. So that's Delta Mike, down and out in Torrevieja. That's a city on the southeast coast of Spain. I am a Brit trapped by circumstance in Spain, thanks to my bank not accepting that I'm me. And so in order to protect me and my money, they won't let me have my money, in case I'm not me. That's a long story short. You are watching a TrampCast Hangout, which is an totally unstructured, just chatting type hangout with you guys, with anybody who stops by and who wants to chat. We've got got nowhere better to be on a Friday evening, perhaps Friday afternoon or early evening, if depending on your time zone. Friday night for us in Europe. You're more than welcome to join. Come and say hello and join in chat. You want to, firstly, you want to make sure that you've got the little button that says live in the bottom left corner, little red light. If it's not lit, then you're behind. You may be responding to things that we said some time ago. Check that you're live and up to date. Next, you want to have chat open, and not just open, but you want to configure it away from the default, which is called top chat, which hides 5, 10, 20% of messages, depending on how sweary we get. You want to turn that off and be on live chat. All messages are visible, or similar wording. I believe the wording varies by platform and by device, whether you're in a browser, whether you're in an Android app, iPhone app, the wordings can be different. Let me just scroll. Hi Naismith, hello. Let me just scroll back. Okay, there we go. All right, there's Naismith arriving, one of the technical family from Big Clive and Scruff Dog. What is a group of pandas called? A group of pandas? I don't know. A checkerboard. A newspaper of pandas. It's the black and white thing, isn't it? Living off the land, Mike, a nomad of sorts. I don't really live off the land. I'm an e-beggar when it comes down to it. I'm living on the land, but not off the land. Should really learn to forage or something, shouldn't I? Or fish. I should have learned to fish as a kid. I did buy when I did my little Temu order a few weeks ago, I did buy a fish trap. Fish, lobster, whatever. I'm not sure exactly what it's meant to catch, but yeah, put a brick in it or a stone and put it in the sea. The plan was to take the bottom halves of two different Coke cans, and put one inside the other, puncture it a little bit, and put some dry dog food in. The dog food would leak out gradually and attract whatever that attracts. I'm just not sure of the legality for where I am. That might not be, and I have enough legal problems without inviting more. So I held off from that. A chap did give us a couple of fishing rods a couple of years ago, but the lad that was here, Joby, that was here in the field with me, he'd only ever done river fishing, coarse fishing is it called, and the sea was just a totally different beast. I got no idea, I clueless. Every time we cast, we were getting caught in weeds and vegetation mainly, but also the rocks. We kept having to cut away line and hooks and things, which bad for the environment, folks, isn't it? So we called it quits on that. Yeah, so not exactly living off the land. I wish I could. I've learnt a lot since being homeless. I mean, I've learnt a lot, that some of the different knots and some of the different things. I was so impressed. I mean, if you watch my first video, I know it looks like shit, but if you watch my first ever video and see the thing that I built, the shack, the whatever you want to call it, 6 broom handles and a tarpaulin, and then later on a few bent branches to make a convex roof rather than concave, and that stood for months. That stood for quite a few months, until the plastic just perished, and a bloke called Simon bought me a tent, second-hand tent, Yeah, no, that was remarkable. Simon and Damien, those guys turned my life around. As well as the two ladies that put together and bought me a phone, so that I could launch this here YouTube channel. However long ago that was now. Hold on. Are we coming from 4 years since I launched the channel? No, that can't be right. 3 years since I launched the channel? And 3.5 since I've been homeless, isn't it? I believe that's right. August the 14th, 2022. Does that math? I'm not sure if the math there or not. Can't quite remember, folks. Hey, Frank Nadobody, hello, mate. I've just scrolled, but it just jumped on me. I don't know why the YouTube app does this. Chat starts jumping, but I was watching someone else the other day and it was doing it for them. Jumping around all over the place, dancing. Frank Nadobody, hello. Naismith has remembered all the things today. That's always good. If you can remember the things and get things done. I grow cassava. Hold on. Isn't that the one? There's 2 varieties, and one of them is. It's not poisonous. Is it poisonous? Is it tannins? Is it like acorns? You have to process it a lot to get rid of the tannins. Not sure. Have I missed? I feel like I might have missed something somewhere here. Did we get an answer to a group of pandas, or was this a... I'm not sure what that was. I do need to know now the collective noun for pandas. You can't give me fucking questions and not give me the answers. Collective noun. They don't really group, do they? Collective nouns. Pandas. Noun, singular. Pandas. I gotta have an answer. An embarrassment. The whimsical term is thought to originate from the animal's often clumsy, awkward and shy behaviour, as well as their historical difficulty breeding. I mean, let's face it, they do kind of deserve to die out, don't they? They look cute and everything, but they're like thoroughly incapable of breeding. And aren't they reliant on a plant that only flowers once every 20 odd years or something? Other less common terms include a cupboard or a bamboo of pandas. A cupboard or a bamboo of pandas. A cupboard of pandas. Where the fuck do you get that from? The funny one, the best one, isn't it? For a group of gorillas. Ever since Not the 9 o'clock news did a kind of a spoof. Was it Gerald the gorilla? When I found him, he was wild. Wild? I was fucking furious, he says in the interview. But they decided in that spoof to have it be a flange of gorillas. And that is now being used in the field. That's used by zoologists and things when they're actually out watching. When they're out watching them, it has become one of the accepted terms for a group noun of gorillas. Is now a flange. That's interesting. I thought so, at least. An embarrassment, yeah, an embarrassment. Or, as we just discovered, a cupboard of pandas, or a bamboo of pandas. There we go, folks. I got to finish this coffee because this is cold now. Yeah, that one's actually cold. I'm going to get the other one down. This one will still be hot. I can't reach the damn thing. This one will still be hot because it's a more insulated cup or mug, even though the lid's on incorrectly. Let me put that down. I'll have a quick swig of beer because I don't think I've had any of that yet. Cheers, folks. Is that 20 past? It is. Probably 4:20 somewhere, for those of you of a herbalicious nature. Alright, folks, what are we going to talk about now? Conglomeration of crocodiles. Oh, gosh. I would have gone with a handbag of crocodiles, but that's me. Group nouns for animals. Always interesting. I can never remember them. Parliament of crows? Is it? A murmuration of starlings. That's a good word. Murmuration. Don't think I can remember any more. Pack of dogs, flock of geese, pride of lions. Tigers. What about tigers? It's a murder of crows. What's a parliament then? Fuck off. Murder of crows, it is, isn't it? Hold on. Now I gotta look because I hate. I'm almost fucking ADHD with this stuff. Once I don't know something, it's got to get looked up. A parliament of owls. Owls. Originating from C.S. Lewis's Chronicles of Narnia. I'm sure I've heard parliament used for something else. Oh, do owls hang around in groups? They're quite solitary. We had one around here. I haven't seen it in a couple of years. Used to, when I slept outside, so when I had just a bedroll outside, he would land on the power poles and look down at me. And I'm sure the bugger was wanting to eat me. Or maybe Tina. Maybe he's wanting to eat the dog. Yeah, no, he used to stare down at me. But I'm less likely to see him now that I'm inside a tent rather than lying out in the field. But you could hear his wingspan and hear his wings flapping when he took off. And obviously he got mice and things in the field that he would eat and feed on anyway. But he used to swap between here and the park, which is 3 fields just up the road. What about tigers? They must have a group noun as well. A pride of lions, but what's tigers? Collective noun. Tigers. Oops, sorry. Hope no one had headphones on there. It's a streak of tigers. I guess you could have gone with a stripe of tigers as well, couldn't you? But a streak of tigers. Another commonly used term is an ambush of tigers. A streak specifically refers to a tigress and her cubs, while an ambush describes multiple adults. An ambush of tigers. I did like the streak though. Oh well, that's not why you called. I don't know, folks. Let me get this lid on straight. It's not. It's always hotter than I think it's going to be when I reach for that cup. It will keep a drink warm for about 3 hours. So I put that on about, I started the kettle about half an hour before we went live. It took 5 or 10, well, it took a good 10 minutes to come up to temperature. The other day, folks, oh my God. I took my cups out and I put the gas ring on, and then I came back inside, sought Tina out with something or other. And then I took my shoes off, got on the bed, started watching YouTube videos. Totally forgot about it. About 2 hours later, I look up and notice that my cups are not here. And I have that sinking feeling. Shit, wasn't I making coffee? Oh, fuck. I go outside and I've got a totally empty pan. Boiled dry. And yeah, I threw some more water in and gave it 5-10 minutes and made my coffee. But I literally had to check the gas bottle to see how much I'd used. It's still got some weight to it, so it's not too bad. And I got that bottle between Christmas and New Year, didn't I? That gas bottle. So it's holding up all right. It seems to be lasting longer than the previous one. But I had other people using the other one. There was a Russian guy kept coming and wanting to make coffee. And there was the Spanish guy, Pepe. Yeah. Other people using my shit. It's not like it's not expensive per se. It's like what, somewhere between 20 and 23 euros. It seems to have gone down this last time. It went cheaper again, but it's just the logistics of fetching the gas bottle over with a disabled dog who can't kind of go with me. So yeah, and 20 euros is, you know, it's for a guy in a field. That's not always easy to come by. Although with people like UK Richie around, sometimes it is. I've had to send some money back to some people lately, refund them because they get too generous. There's Marie, Murder of Crows, Parliament of Owls, yeah. Have you all gone quiet on me? Or has chat frozen? Sometimes does. No, I'm up to date. That's when the conversation runs out. When it's better when I'm an hour behind in chat, isn't it? I haven't gone off on many major tangents so far today. We haven't done the big tangent thing, but yeah, that was leaving the bloody cooker going, leaving the gas ring going. I've got to come up with a, I don't know, I've got to come up with a system. I'm becoming a bit forgetful. I've mentioned in the past, folks, that I thought I was getting some kind of early onset Alzheimer's or dementia of some flavour or other a few years back. And I still think so. If you see me struggle to get the right words sometimes, struggle to name things that I should know, struggle to do puzzles that I used to do easily. Yeah, I gave the example the other day. I messed up. Not just the fact that I messed up a Sudoku. I corrected it in the end, but I messed up the fucking easy one. It's easy. I know it's reversed. It's backwards. Fucking YouTube. YouTube still can't reverse the camera image. But I messed up an easy one, and I got nowhere with the hard one. I only filled 3 numbers in the grid before I got stuck. I used to be able to concentrate and focus and recall stuff so much more easily. Putting a kettle on and leaving it for 2 fucking hours. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I don't leave when I've got, there's a flame back there. Ordinarily, I don't leave it. I might walk off to get a bottle of water or something and go straight back. But this time I came in because of the dog, and then I just totally got sidetracked. I don't even know how long it was before I suddenly noticed that my cups weren't here, and I thought, oh fuck, was I making coffee? And it starts off with a was I? I wasn't even sure. As soon as I stepped outside though, and I could look and I could see the flames, could see the gas ring. Ridiculous. So I need I don't know, like an elastic band or something that I can leave out there, and then when I've got the kettle on, I put it on my wrist or something. Tie a knot in a hanky or that kind of memory thing, just so that I don't forget. It was ridiculous. Naismith has done similar things. Marines now headed into the Middle East, I see. Really? You think they're getting ready for boots on the ground? That's hello Tuddy. I don't know if they're going to be boots on the ground. They might do another one of their snatch the leader kind of things. That seems to be all the rage at the minute, doesn't it? Don't know. Boots on the ground would be a major escalation, really. Don't know. Big step up, if that's how they. Hey, Luke. Hello. Luke in Benidorm. I think we're okay here, mate. I think we're okay. We've had a fairly good week, I'd say. The floor of the tent is wet through. Squelch. I have to put shoes on to walk across at the minute, but that's. We had a 24-hour, almost continuous rain, torrential at times, and we had dripping through the roof. That's not where the moisture came from. The moisture's come from underneath again. And I was saying earlier, I think I've got the floors from all of the past tents underneath me, and we've been getting smaller and smaller. Not by much, but the footprint of the tents have reduced, and so we've got these plastic sheets, plastic floors under us that are wider than the tent. So I think the water's been running down the walls on the outside and pooling on these plastic sheets underneath. And then the tent's a year old now, roughly. Any little holes or tears in the floor, with the water's coming in and through. I'm not going to have a carpet in the next one. I'm not going to have another carpet. They just... all of the dust and the dirt and the water are just kind of... It's easier to keep clean if I just have a plastic floor, not a carpet. So having a carpet and an armchair, it's kind of been a joke all along. The fact that I've got a TV in here as well. I never used it once, maybe. I do have my camping fridge freezer. I do have my EcoFlow. I might get a second EcoFlow. That's still possibly in the works. I have an electric fan. I've got a slow cooker. I don't have enough power anymore. And now that my solar panel is broken to buggery, it's only giving me about half the power it would have previously. It did hit 60 watts yesterday at one point, which amazed me because it wasn't even that sunny at that point. That was it shining through clouds. Solar panels are weird. Clear blue sky, and I'm only getting like 40 or 45 watts, shining through clouds, and I got 60. I don't know how that works. I don't really understand. I know it's the visible spectrum. I know it's not the ultraviolet or whatever that they're working from. So I don't fully understand it. But no, it's not been a bad week. We had that one day of solid rain. We had another day, I think, that was just cloudy all day, and I didn't get any power. And we've had a couple of good days now. All good in the hood, as we say. The next tent should have a parquet wood floor. Yeah, I guess. I've got the next tent already. It's fucking the bundle. It's fucking huge. It's about twice as big as this one, like the rolled up bundle. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how or why it's that big. But it's in the spare bedroom. It's in the storage room over yonder. So anyone who doesn't know it, this tent is. Hold on, what's this one? Is this one 6 meters by 3 meters? 2, 4. Roughly speaking, the last one was. I think the last one was 7 by 3.5 or 7 by 4 maybe. Also, this one had much wider. What are we going to call it? I'm going to call it a gutter between the bedroom and the outer skin, the outer wall. It had much larger, so there's more wasted space as well. So as well as being smaller than the previous tent, it has more unusable space within it. So the last one I could get out of the bed. So this is I've got two double mattresses, one on top of the other. The last one I could get out and walk around. I've got a fuck. Here we go, folks. Let me see whether you can see this. Oh yeah, there you go. Look, I got a chest of drawers in here as well, and that's my go bin. So if any preppers out there knows what a go bag is, well, that's my go bin. But I've got the chest of drawers there, but I haven't got room in between the bed and the chest of drawers to actually get out and walk around. I did in the previous tent. Technically, it had a divider you could put up, and there was room to put two double bedrooms, two double beds next to each other. In that tent, this one's a 6-berth, a 6-man tent rather than an 8-man. Those numbers are always fudged. I mean, you could technically have got 8 people in it, but you would have been tripping up over each other. But it's a fair-sized tent for a man in a field. Brought me a lot of attention of the wrong sort from the authorities to begin with. But it's all settled down now. More or less settled down anyway. They leave me alone, even though I'm in the open, very visible, and I am collecting detritus again. I got a pine dining table. I've got a folding table, 3 or 4 chairs, and this is all outside. They came and stole all my stuff once because they claimed it was all a fire risk. Used to have a gas barbecue. The police came and stole it all. Oh, I'm not going down that. It's all on video. It was all very. They were very aggressive. They were threatening to shoot my dog. Yeah, it all got a bit sweary. Oh, that's the day when the cop was he pulled all the tent pegs out and started shaking the tent, so I threatened to smack him. That was that day. Yeah. Not entirely my proudest moment when I watch those videos back, but I think everything I said and did was justified. If the same thing happened again now, I would smack him. Because now I know for a fact I'm on private land and that they shouldn't have been taking my stuff away. No paperwork, no court order, no paperwork, no receipts, no documenting what they took. They just took it and threw it on the bin wagon and took it off. UK Richie's got head off for a while. Hope to catch you before the end of the stream. Maybe if I'm not sure how long I'm going to go tonight because, like I said, I didn't get my nap in beforehand, so it's difficult to say. But is that Farmer? Are you coming back from somewhere, Farmer, or are you just having a catch up on who's joined us? Okay, here he goes. Let me see whether I can read this without fluffing my lines like I did last time. Pound, smash, poke, prod, press, push, punch, slap, chop, bump, tap, flick, kick, click, lick, rub, slam the like button, and consider subscribing, folks, if you haven't already. Thumbs ups are always appreciated. Helps to send YouTube a signal that people are watching. I hear, I don't know how true it is, but I hear that when you get to 20, if you get to 20 thumbs ups, 20 likes, that more notifications go out. There's a chance that you might get more promotion of the stream. I don't know how true it is. There's a lot of rumors and you know, a lot of crap talked by some people that you know want to try and educate you on how this all works. I have no idea, but our farmer was off making food. Making a nice tomato sauce with a hot rigatoni and some chickpeas. I like to add some chicks to my pasta. I saw a video earlier. Someone was making a what they said was a spicy rigatoni, but it was a vodka. It was a vodka sauce, vodka and tomato sauce. I'm not really I don't really cook with spirits. You've always got the danger that it'll go up in flames. You flambe. Is that the word? Always seemed a bit dangerous to me. So wine's as strong as I'll go with a sauce. Beer in a batter or in some other. I've still got a can of Guinness from months ago. Must be. I was going to make something with it and didn't. I think it's still in the fridge somewhere. I think so. Here I go again, folks. Really, really bad alky, aren't I? Guinness has been there ages. There's white wine waiting for... going to do a white wine and cream and mustard sauce at some point. I've got loads and loads of bottles, half bottles of... well, all the condiments, all the sauces. Far too many when you look at it. Can I show you that? I think I can point the camera in that direction without embarrassing myself too much. Let's have a... Let me see whether I can put the light on. You see my veg rack? Oh yeah, I've got a veg rack, folks. The top two shelves, the top two drawers, are just full of it's ketchups and mayos and mustards and I think I've got brown sauce as well at the minute. HP, I think it is. Got the Houses of Parliament sauce. Everyone who brings me, when people go home and they bring me a couple of bags of whatever's in their cupboards, yeah, there's almost always there'll be a mustard, there'll be a mayo, aioli, the garlic mayo stuff. Although technically, It shouldn't be a mayo, should it? That true aioli is just the oil and the garlic. But they seem to just use the term for garlic mayo anyway. Who knows? Who knows what the rules are? So hot rigatoni with chickpeas, or garbanzo beans, if you will. Garbanzo. Garbanzo beans, I think. Not sure. You need to heat. You need to boil or heat off the alcohol. You do, but I've been in houses before where there's been curtains fairly nearby the cooker. You know, like maybe the sink's just off to one side, and there'll be a window and curtains. You don't want them there flames jumping up next to the curtains. You're alkaline. You could add balsamic and be acidic. I get accused of all the things. Yeah, I don't know, folks. Here I am at what is it? 1:45 my time now, maybe. It is there or thereabouts, and here I'm drinking coffee. Although I do have a can of beer next to me as well. Two-fisted drinking. I've still got a mini. Well, it's not a mini, but it's like a quarter bottle of vodka. When my mate Frank, not Frank, where did that come from? My mate Mark went home 2 or 3 weeks ago now, isn't it? And he brought me, and his family had been buying cigarettes, cartons of cigarettes, and every second or so carton you buy comes with either a vodka or a whiskey. He brought those round, and I still got some of that. I think I've got cola down here next to the bed somewhere, have I? Oh, not much. Oh, yeah, there's a second bottle there, look. Okay. Yeah, I'm at the end of one bottle of cola, and I've got another one. Another one there. What's with the brown? Is it brown or yellow lid? I've not noticed that. Okay, it's a 0 sugar, 0 caffeine. Yeah. Wouldn't have been my choice, but I didn't buy it, so, you know. Oh, God, no. I'll just stick with beggars can't be choosers. I could have done the spoonerism thing for Keith Chegwin. Cheggers can't be boozers. But no, I won't. Poor lad. He suffered. He suffered with the drink. For anyone who's not British, Keith Chegwin, known as Cheggers, was a mainstay of kind of children's TV in the 70s into the 80s maybe. Cheggers, but he succumbed to the alcohol. Yeah, don't put vodka flames near tent. Yeah, this is the thing. My stove is actually fairly close out there nowadays. Now that I've put a tarp over that end because of the big rip along the... Did I tell you that the tent ripped the entire width just above the skirt, just above... So where the floor comes up, about 6 inches or so, 15 centimetres for your metric folk, and it's got that first strong seam there. It ripped all the way along just above that. So I had to put a tarp that in because any water running down that end of the tent would have just dumped into the tent. Fairly sure that I prevented that happening, but I still had all the water running in because of the plastic sheets under the tent. When I put the next one up, I gotta make sure that those are inside by a good few inches under the tent and away from the edge. Yeah. Did you ever watch Only Fools and Horses back in the day? I did, all the time. It was the biggest program on UK TV for years. It would get 16 million viewers on a Saturday night. Literally, what, a quarter of the country would be watching it. Basically, if you weren't down the pub on a Saturday night, you would watch Only Fools and Horses. Usually after a few these kind of variety type shows or something. Something with Noel Edmonds, typically. Yeah, like Noel's House Party or Mr. Blobby or whatever he had going on. And then there'd be a few comedies. I think Saturday night for Only Fools and Horses, possibly Sunday. Definitely the weekend. But yeah, millions and millions of people would watch that. Back in the day when we only had 3 or 4 channels, they got ridiculous viewership. Coronation Street used to get 13 million viewers every episode. Only Fools and Horses was a biggie. We have other ones. What are the other ones? Spitting Image was huge. Spitting Image with the puppets taking the piss out of politicians. That was massive. The Muppet Show, just after bath time. I'd get in the bath. As kids, we'd get bathed while Songs of Praise was on, and then we could watch the Muppets afterwards. Again, 10, 12, 15 million viewers for these programs, folks. Because you only had 3 channels. So when you went to school the next day, there was... Yeah, everyone had seen the same things. So you had those focal points, those touch points, those communal elements where you could all be talking about the same program that was on last night. Upstairs, Downstairs, anyone? That was huge. So that was like a Downton Abbey thing, but back in the 70s. Yeah. Naismith used to watch Cheggers Plays Pop. I think we all did. Cheggers Plays Pop. What was that program that he did later on where they were naked doing an assault course? So he did an adult kind of show. So Chris Tarrant did one. His was called Over the Top, OTT, with that rather large black lady, with a large chest black lady. Lots of... See, they used to get them out on TV back in those days. So Chris Tarrant did OTT, but later on, Cheggers did one. It's like a junk. It's in a studio, but it was like a naked assault course, wasn't it? Am I misremembering? I got to check now, haven't I? You know the score. You've got half a recollection of something. Let me... I've got a feeling that Chegwin did a like a kids jungle assault course, but then they did like an adult version. Keith Chegwin, naked TV program. I don't know what I'm going to write. How am I going to write program the right way? Double M-E. Naked Jungle. And he was naked as well, except for a hat. See, I had all the right words there, didn't I? I said I had a recollection of like a jungle assault course thing and naked, and it was literally called Naked Jungle. One of the most notorious programs in British TV history. Naked Jungle celebrated World Naturism Day with an all-nude assault course competition. Now I want to look up Chris Tarrant and OTT. Chris Tarrant. OTT. Why is it not mentioning any nakedness? OTT TV show Black Girl. That's one of the search terms that people use, apparently. And there are full episodes available on YouTube. Oh, Carol G's and Spit the Dog. Fuck. There you go. Memories, folks, memories. And for once, mine's working. That's a change. Oh, you got the pecorino one, isn't it? Pecorino. Oh yeah, Checkers Place Pop and the yeah. EastEnders, yeah, that's you see, to me, EastEnders is the new one. It's been on for about 30 odd years now, isn't it? Probably more. But that's the Johnny Come Lately. Coronation Street is the original soap opera. Coronation Street and Emmerdale Farm. Then we had like Brookside and Albion. What was that called? Albion Market? Albion Market. Then there was the one set in Spain. What was that called? With Jesse Birdsall. All the white buildings. What was it called? El Dorado. It's called El Dorado. All the soap operas, folks. All the old soap operas. There's so many have come and gone. But yeah. I remember Emmerdale Farm, as it was called. Now it's just called Emmerdale. Emmerdale Farm back in the 70s with Amos and Mr. Wilkes. Amos Brearley. What a name. My Family. Robert Lindsay. And what's she called? Not going to get it. Wanamaker. Zoe Wanamaker. Chris Marshall as the eldest son. I don't remember the others. I think that was the BBC's first attempt at doing a comedy program with like a US style writer's room. Lots of writers chipping in with lots of quick kind of one-line humor. Trying to be a bit like Friends or something like that. That's how they were able to churn out so many episodes, I think. More than most other UK comedies, well, most UK programs, it's like 6 or 8 episodes to a season of series. They were able to churn out a lot more. Tom's lost me. I think I've missed something somewhere. At least one of them is back with my grip. One weight off my mind. The Kumars at, I don't think it was 69, wasn't it? Not 70, it wasn't 73 or something. 49 maybe. I don't think it was 69. I think you're telling your own jokes there. Oh, Tina. There's Karen arriving. I just got to scroll back. It's jumped on me. I got a feeling that was the Black Eyed Peas. Tonight's going to be a good night. Okay. Nonetheless, I've switched to water and downing. Now expect that to do its job. Foolishly loaned a neighbour money 2 hours 10 to 2 days. Ah, that happens. There was Karen arriving. Yeah, good. It was only 2 days instead of 2 months. El Dorado. The city of gold, wasn't it? Oh, it's a fish here as well, isn't it? Dorados are a fish. I used to buy them at Lidl. Did I? Yeah, I did. Dorado. Is it a perch? Doesn't sound right. 2 seconds. It's very bony. It was a bit of a pain in the ass to pick all the bones out before cooking. Dorado fish. Mahi mahi. That doesn't look like it. No, that's no. That's huge. That's as big as a man. That's not the one. No. Dorado fish. Do I have to put Spain? It's a small thing. Well, not too small. That's the one. It's a bream. Gilt-head bream. I don't know my fish. I don't know one fish from another. Widely enjoyed grilled, baked, al horno, that means in the oven or at the oven, or in stews. But you've got to take. There's a whole row of bones at the top edge and the bottom edge on both sides. You got to piss about with it to. You need a pair of pliers to prepare it, which I never had. Tweezers, actually, they use, don't they, when you watch Ponzi chefs? El Dorado, Naismith caught an episode on a random channel last year. What was she? The girl Pilar, the Spanish girl. But some of the actors in that one, they so half of the cast were proper actors, and half were like just dragged in off the street. They did like an open audition, and one of the actors, when he's in a scene, he's memorized both both parts, and when the other guy is talking, he's waiting for his cue, but he's mouthing the other guy's line. I think they had a bit of that in Hollyoaks as well at one point. But yeah, when they do open auditions and just members of the public take part, it doesn't end well. Literally speaking, the gilded can mean golden, whatever's in some context. Yeah. What was there was a kids' TV program where they were searching for a city of gold. Oh, what was that one? That was probably called El Dorado. The theme tune was all about it anyway. Let's see. It was definitely on the BBC. Let's see if we can get that. 70s or 80s? Don't know. I'm going to say BBC Kids TV. Not really. Kids TV program. City of Gold? Cities of Gold. The Mysterious Cities of Gold. French-Japanese animated adventure. Aired on Children's BBC in the UK from 1986. Hey. There you go. My memory's still there, folks. 39 episode series combines history, archaeology and sci-fi. I've got movement in here. Hope not. Let's have a look. Fondly remembered for its iconic theme song and mini documentary shown at the end of each episode, detailing the real history behind the story. 86. Later than I thought, but okay. Yeah, there we go. Naismith got there, probably before me. 5 miles off. Good night, mate. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be a long one. Dorado Tom was there with the sea bream. Tried it last year, white fish from the Med. That was called Mysterious Cities of Gold. Yeah, that was Naismith. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not expecting this to be like a 5 or 6 hour affair. I doubt we'll make it to the 4 hours. I always like to get to the 4 hours because they do the post-processing more quickly of the live stream replay and the different aspect ratios and what's the word I'm looking for? Resolutions for viewing. If you don't make it to 4 hours, it can take up to 15 hours for a little channel like mine to get fully processed and released. Cheers, folks. Happy Saturday here in Spain. I live in the future. All right. Are we going off on one with Kids TV again? We do this every now and again, don't we? About once a month we go off on one with Kids TV. Or have we got any other topics? I haven't really gone off on a tangent from a tangent yet, have I? I haven't really hit my stride. I don't know. I don't know whether to drink beer or coffee. I've got both here, and I'm conscious that the coffee won't stay warm forever. It's warm, but it's not hot anymore. I would introduce you to my lady here, but are you under the covers, dude? Where are you? Are you tied up with my jumper? Oops. Oh, there you are. Okay, that's your head. All right. Hey, baby. Let's see whether we can sneak a peek at her ladyship. I'll turn the camera. I don't think you'll be able to see her just direct, will you? She's that black blob there. Just give me a second. I'll put the light on. Oh. Hi, babe. You're okay. Here you are. Here you are. Hello, you. Hello, you. Do you not want the light? I can cover your eyes. There you go, sweetie. Here's my girl, folks. Here's my Tina doggy darling. Hi, my babe. I'll take it away now. I don't want to disturb you too much. Just have to show you to the peoples. Let me see. Okay, we're on 100% on power. The phone is charged. Let me check on the tablet. Down to 88. I guess I can. I'll plug that in for a little bit. Oh, after the rain this week, after the rain on was it Tuesday? It was. I couldn't get anything to charge. The phone was bitching about water in the connector or the cables. There wasn't, but it gets confused if the temperature's cold, so cold metal on the connector, it confuses with moisture and won't charge. So that was the phone. Then the tablet started doing the same, but not. It didn't give the same error message. It just didn't charge when plugged in. And then this power bank today, you know when you first plug in and the four lights, they all flash and then they cycle through and then it goes down to the level it's on. It kept just doing the start. It kept doing the flash and so it wasn't charging. It was doing the initialization kind of routine. Just I don't think anything got wet, but I think things got. The air was damp in here because, and yeah, everything's been a bitch. I couldn't get stuff to charge properly. In the end, I had to charge the phone using the USB A to C cable, which only gives about 5 watts. When connected to the phone. So everything was problematic. Just damp in the air. Yeah. Yeah, well, so humidity in the charging port, possibly, but I did the body heat thing. I took everything and put it under my jumper kind of thing. So I had cables, the different devices at various times, the power bank. So gravity, having the ports downwards, so anything that was in could drain out. Body heat and also blowing, giving them a wind. But no, mainly I'm fairly sure mainly it's a temperature thing that just confuses them. Yeah, annoying. Let me see whether I can't just sit up a little bit better than that, folks. Oh, let's have a look. And now we're rocking. Give us a second. Why is it doing that? That's still not stable. Old school Nokia with a battery life of 1 week. It's about 3 days in cooler climates. Someone lent me one once. After the first flood in this field, I was lent an old school phone, and that got buried in the second flood. Unfortunately, when somebody lends you something and you give it back to them kind of ruined, yeah, not good. Not good. Ended up with rusty connector. So it wouldn't charge properly. I think it survived the actual flood, itself. What can you do? Electronics and water don't mix well, do they? Batteries don't like the cold. Yeah, but it detects the cold as moisture. It did it a few times over winter. Now the tablet will actually complain and say charging at a reduced level due to the cold. and then it adds on a line about it'll get faster as it gets warmer. But the phone literally mistakes it for moisture and bleats. Pretty sure none of them actually had any moisture anywhere near them. Neither the devices, the cables, or the EcoFlow. The EcoFlow is getting rust in places, like the 12-volt port, the cigarette lighter port. That's just damp in the air rather than rain directly. But yeah. Hello, Andy. Have you only just arrived, or were you here earlier? I'm a bit lost. Not unusual, is it? I get a bit confused. Topics, folks. Conversation. I will just point out my my PayPal donate link is there. I remembered for once to put it there. Electric car batteries often have battery heaters to bring temps and voltages up. Yeah. Some battery chemistries don't like being well, some just don't like being used when it gets to certain temperatures. Some don't like being charged once you're down around 0. Is lithium iron phosphate, LFP. I think that's one of the ones that doesn't like to be charged once you're down below 0 Celsius. I think, from memory. I can check. Don't like to leave these questions hanging over. What's the best way? What's the best abbreviation? LFP, battery, charge, cold? Charge in cold. I'll put that in cold weather. There we go. LFP batteries face reduced charging efficiency, increased internal resistance and capacity loss in cold weather. Charging below 0 Celsius is highly detrimental and can cause permanent damage. So yeah, fortunately this is Spain, and it don't really get that cold in this part of Spain. I'm sure up on the mountains and in the north where they do get snow and things, it can get that cold. What's the lowest we had this year? 3 or 4 degrees Celsius? So I suppose it's getting down that way, but oh, that's been lurking. Yeah, sodium performs better in low temps, I think I heard. Those are new, aren't they? That's the new kid on the block, I think, the sodium batteries. I'm not sure they're all they were cracked up to be. They don't have the density, I don't think, do they? So you get a bigger battery with less capacity. It's all right for static uses. I don't know. I'm not an expert in any of this. I'm not as technical as some of you other technical people. In fact, I'm the least technical person that hangs out in those circles. Probably. Okay, folks. Battery technology. See, when you read science journals and follow science news, they're always claiming the next great battery technology, and realistically we get one new thing every 20 years or so. But they're always pushing, they've always got the next one on. It's always been investigated, and the paper always ends with further research is indicated, which is just Give me money. Give me more money. Give us money to research it some more. But there's always an interest. There's always the next great tech, just around the corner, like these things always are. You switch to any science website, and the three stories that you can guarantee is the next great battery technology, the next great Alzheimer's or Parkinson's treatment or cure. What else do we have? Oh, there's always the next solar panel technology. Those are your three standard stories in any of the science blogs. Here comes Field Team. People having lots of problems with EV cars now. The 12-volt battery dies after a week or less. It's to do with information being sent to key to car drains it. I'm a bit lost on the to do with information being sent from the key to the car. Or is there a constant communication? These ones where you don't put a key in, you just have it on you and somewhere nearby. I don't know. It's all very advanced. What did I see? Yeah, I saw one once where someone bought a new car and couldn't even work out how to turn it on. There were so many dials and buttons, and you had to hold the phone over something. I don't know. The car never sleeps. I mean, the amount of batteries in an electric vehicle is crazy. It's like 2/3 of the weight of the car or something daft. Yeah, whole racks of batteries under there. And in a few years they'll start cycling them out, and there'll be all these second-hand batteries on the market somewhere, won't there? Probably already. I mean, how long have we had electric cars now? When did Tesla start in earnest with whatever their first one was called? Probably the Model X. I know that he wanted to spell sex, didn't he? So you've got the Model S, 3 and X. But I'm not sure what order they were released. Okay, let's have a look. First Tesla. Can't even type it. Release date. Released. Yeah. 2008. 2008. That's a while back now. 17, 18 years. I'm guessing they don't last that long. What about hybrid car batteries? Oh, that's interesting. Burning the petrol to generate electricity, storing. I don't know how much it stores. They're smaller batteries, aren't they? You're basically running a generator. I don't know much about them. I'm still not sure how we spell this, how we pronounce this Field Team. Fina Foil, Fina Gale, Fina Feel. The 12-volt battery they give you is crap. It's like buying a dear pair of shoes and getting shit laces. There's Karen asking, what about hybrid car batteries? I don't know much about them. I think hybrid cars might end up being the way forward. I think that might be the way the market goes in the end. rather than pure EVs. There seems to be a growing resistance to outright electric vehicles. I'm not fully sure why or how, and I haven't got any experience with any of them, but it just seems that way. Whereas the hybrids, I don't know whether it's just because of car fleet hire. There was a lot of government subsidies to get hybrids, and then most people just run them as normal petrol cars. So I'm not sure. Don't know. All right, folks. It's meatloaf backwards. Oh, okay. Almost. The meat and team don't quite work, but yeah, okay. It's not quite backwards, is it? But yeah. I got you. I don't know what conversation for. What's the topic? Let's have some. I know nothing about cars, so I can't really take you anywhere with any of this. Batteries, I know a little bit about. But yeah, I had difficulty this week just because of, I guess just because of the general funkiness after the 24 hours of rain. Everything in here was, well, not wet, but it's a word a lot of people don't like. Moist, damp. I'll go with damp. My bed was damp. Parts of it were fucking downright wet. The parts that touched the north wall over here, the bottom mattress, not the one that I'm on. So I got two mattresses, and the top one has kind of slid down that way, and there's almost 2 foot of exposed bottom mattress. But where, because the tent is leaking a lot now, water was running down the inside of the fabric, but also on the outside of the inner bedroom fabric, and where things touched it, it would then come through, and the mattress, the bottom mattress, is pressed right against the wall, so that got quite wet at this end, and I had splashes and things coming in through the bedroom fabric. I had drips at times. And I had a little bowl to catch the drips, and then I went and spilt the damn bowl, didn't I? So I collected all the water together and then dumped it in one spot. Dickhead. But yeah. What? Samantha Fox? Where'd that come from? Oh, a topic for conversation. Samantha Fox. Touch me. I want to feel your body. Your heartbeat next to mine. Yeah, she was quite the babe. Can you mention Samantha Fox without also mentioning Linda Lusardi? I'm not sure. And then a few years later, Maria Whittaker. I think we had this conversation previously. And then there was Suzanne Mitzi or Missy, and one of them meet a sticky end? that was unintentional. I think one of those four is dead, and I think it's the Suzanne Mitzi. Hold on. We're not going to go off on one with page 3 girls, are we? I do just have to find out and double check now. Is it Suzanne with a Z? Let me see. No, there's no H in the name. Yeah, death is coming up as a thing. older than me, or born before me anyway. Died in 2011. Of what? In a hospice, so I'm guessing cancer. Where's the... It says she died. Nobody's saying what she died of. Later career as an interior designer and abstract artist. Died in Hackney, age 43. Why are we not saying... Okay, ovarian cancer. Okay. 43, that's no age at all. That's... yeah, touching the inside of a tent while wet, it breaks the... Oh, what's it called? There's a term. It's to do with the surface tension and allowing a liquid through. So it only makes it leak at that point. It doesn't like break it forever and make it leak forever. I'm not sure about proper canvas tents and their waterproofing with a... You used to use like a silica gel or something, didn't you, to waterproof tents? I'm not sure if touching those breaks that permanently or if it's just during that kind of rainstorm or whatever, that event. But yeah, it does... it's to do with surface tension and membranes, and that's probably a term that I'm missing. Yeah, cancer. Yeah. Yeah, in the Scouts. Yeah, back in those days, tents were probably all canvas. So I think we had to. I think after we touched the tent, we had to respray it to make it waterproof again. But that might have just been... I'm not sure. It might have just been the canvas tents. But yeah, try not to touch them while wet. But mine's been ragged about by the wind. All the fabric's kind of stretched, and it's got visible marks where it's about to rip. The weaknesses, and so it's now very, very porous all over the place. On top of that, all of the guy lines perished, and so it's all concertinaed in, and it's got concave roof elements, segments. So the water pools and sits there until it finds a weakness to come in, and then it all comes through. A lot of it hit the outside of the bedroom and ran off to the tent floor rather than coming through. But every now and again, some would come through. Again, the tent roof is... the bedroom roof is sagging in because of the shape and structure of the tent. So it's all leaking like a sieve until I can get a new tarpaulin over the top. I want to get a big one again. 10 meters by 8 meters is the perfect size, as long as I can work out which way around to put it. When you open a tarp and get it out of the packet, you can't always tell which way's the longer, which edge is the longest. So I got it wrong last time. I had a 10 meter by 8 meter tarp, and I went and put the 10 meters that way instead of that way. And I was doing it on my own, so it wasn't easy to just rotate and move after I'd got it wrong. So I had to have other tarps at the far end. But I'll get a big one, 10 meters by 8. I'll get that on, and it'll be like a new tent again. Um, Karen remembers in the guides, yeah. Okay, our meatloaf friend there was Boys Brigade rather than Scouts. Uh, had to cook on an open fire, nightmare if you forgot to keep the wood dry. I would imagine. I used to cook on a wood fire here, and every now and again I'd get a bad piece of wood. Um, like the pallet wood was terrible. That spits and crackles and embers come off. But every now and again you'd get a really bad bit of wood, and it just stalled the whole fire because I was cooking in a little like a chimney. It was a big tin can really. Later on, I had a second one that was like a bit of air ducting. Um, but if you got a bad bit of wood, it just smoked, and then the smoke choked the fire, and so you had to kind of blow or lift it off or get the bad bit out, um, so that you could get proper air in again, and and then you'd have the police come down the field because big plume of smoke, and they weren't happy when you're in the middle of a 4 year drought or a 3 year drought or whatever it was at the time. Um, Having a fire in a field where everything's tinder dry, uh, yeah. And they do at times. They have like exclusion orders where you're not allowed to light fires. I always claimed necessity because survival. I had to boil water. My water came from the foot wash, and was um, well, if you say untrusted would be understating it. It gave you a bad stomach if you didn't boil it or treat it in some way. So I had to boil all my water for the first year or so in the field. Then some blokes brought me some water purification tablets, and then other people started bringing me actual clean water. They should mark it 10 so you see it. I'm lost on that one. Context. Okay, folks. I don't think I'm going to go much longer. I'll probably do until on the 3 hour mark in 25 minutes or so, if that's all right with everybody. It seems like a bit of a quiet stream. Conversation for the topics for the next 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Actually, I just need a couple of minutes to go and do the little boys' room thing. Give me 2 minutes, folks. Don't leave me. Just going to hit the mute on the microphone. I'll be back within 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. Just had to have a quick cuddle with my girl. Hey, Tina, babe. Get my soapy water and a quick hand wash. There we go. There we go. Can you hear the mobile disco? Fairly sure that's a car. Because they were pipping the horn to the beat of the music a little while ago. Oh. I wouldn't know about fuel prices, but Karen's answering. Uh, 10 meters by 8 meters. When you take it out the bag, it's not obvious which way it's folded. At least the last one wasn't. Unless I'm just daft and missed something obvious, but once I got it unfurled, I should have counted the eyelets. Because they're every meter. Diesel went up 4 cents, not like Ireland or UK. Gone mad there. I think Farmer was saying that in Canada it went up 20 odd cents. I don't know over what period. That wasn't one day, but was it 20 odd cents? 20 odd percent. Yeah. Someone was saying that there's rationing in Canada, limiting people to, was it 30 litres? I think it was Oscar that was saying. Oh yeah, Karen plus family plus dogs. Let me see. Ireland went up 30 cents. Jeez. And it's already not cheap, eh? That was the whole thing, wasn't it? When they switched to pricing in litres instead of gallons, so that you don't notice the difference as much. They can put it on because there's like, what is it, 4.5 litres to a gallon. If it goes up a few pence per litre, it goes up a heck of a lot per gallon. They're not daft. They're not daft with these things. Yeah, Karen flies out ahead, and Hubby comes in the motorhome. Rabies checks. I think that's. Is it still it's the same doggy passports as before? Yeah. So in Spain, you have to have a rabies. Your dog has to have a rabies vaccination every year. Except I'm behind with mine. I haven't had them. Well, Tina hasn't had them. It's and it all gets documented in the passport. The different injections. I believe there are other legal requirements now that, again, I'm not up on. They all have to be chipped. Again, the database with the chip information will be out of date for me, won't it? In fact, I think it was out of date even when I was at my last home. Yeah, it will have been. I'm way behind. I'd be in trouble again on that one. But, yeah. But if you can just bring them over yourself in a car or a vehicle, it's a lot cheaper than doing it with flights and or sending them overland with a company. It's expensive either way. You can fly over here for like €30 return or whatever, but you want your dog to fly, it's 400, 500. It's crazy money. Or again, 400 or 500 to have them go overland with a specialist company. Has all the injections done in Spain. It's cheaper. Also, you can't get a passport for your dog in the UK. It's a health certificate, which is really expensive. Now that was it doggy passports while we were in the EU, or has it always been? Has it always been different? I don't know. Tom's feeling better, maybe. Okay, folks. We've gone quiet. You guys are all chatting amongst yourself. It was passports before. Okay, while we were in the EU, it was passports. Now it's not. Now it all goes to shit. Like the general enshittification of everything everywhere. I guess it's a fundamental rule of the universe, isn't it? Entropy. Everything falls apart. Everything gets worse all the time. Maybe. All right, folks. What are we going to talk about? We got about 10 minutes before I'm going to draw a line under it, I think. In Ireland, the vet's dear. You need a mortgage. Do they not have like the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals, which is a UK charity, like a cheap vet? Well, I guess it's cheap for people who are in need. I don't know how it works if people have got actual money. Maybe you pay a little bit extra to subsidise the other people. I don't know. Let me see whether I can't finish this coffee off for once, eh? Ah, there we go. Job done. Is that the right word? Drink? What? £50 for a dog, something in the UK, €21 in Spain. I'm getting the idea drink isn't the right word. What happened to the tarantula? The big spider the other day? I just knocked it on the floor. I've no idea what happened to it. You have to prove you're unemployed, etc. You can use the PDSA in the UK if you don't work or are on benefits. Okay. I thought maybe you could use it anyway, but pay a higher fee to subsidise the others, but maybe not. Dog trim. Okay, dog trim in the UK, not drink. £50 for a dog trim in the UK, €21 in Spain. My little darling doesn't need. Well, she's never needed a haircut, but she molts all the time, like continuously. The bed here is just full of hair. Yeah, the whole tent is. I used to have to sweep the floor about 3 times a day in the apartment. It was like continuous. Just follow her around with a bloody sweeping brush. And then, like if you pull a chair out or something, fucking handfuls of it behind her. There's insurance, but you have to hold on. You have to have it when they're young. Half the time, you're not covered 100%. Isn't insurance always that way? They want you to have it when you've got no use for it, and then it doesn't cover the things that you actually need it for. It's always like that. Karen's dogs don't molt, so have to be trimmed. Yeah. Tina's just perpetual. Yeah. What can you do? I love it a bit, but she's a difficult one to clean up after. And in this tent, I've got no chance in here. It's just everywhere. It's just lining the carpet. And the bed and me and everything. That's my girl. Hey, babe. You awake? No, you are awake. Hello, you. I was wanting to show you off to the peoples before, but you were asleep. Kind of. I think I disturbed you with the lights, didn't I? Sorry. That's sorry. I don't know. Can you hear that music? If it was any louder, I'd be getting a copyright strike from YouTube. Can you brush her? Yeah, I've got a comb rather than a brush. I used to have a fantastic brush. I don't know what happened to it. It might be here somewhere, but buried. There's a brush on one side, and on the other side it was metal spikes, like a metal comb for the tougher parts. But I've got it's like a flea comb that I use to brush her, but you're just there forever. It's not like you brush her a bit and you've taken it all off and there's no more. You can just keep going forever. Handful after handful after handful. It just doesn't stop. Yeah. So you kind of give up on it. Then there's the fact that now she can't kind of stand up properly, so you can't get to half of her. Yeah. What can you do, folks? What can you do? But Karen's dogs don't molt, so have to be trimmed. You could be a doggy hairdresser yourself, Karen. When she had a sleepover at your house, when she had a sleepover, your house was covered in Tina hair. Yeah, that would be the case. Yeah, she is a what's the word? She's a prolific malter. Yeah, I stumbled over that word there. But yeah, that's my girl. She is a wee beastie, hairy wee beastie. Mind you, so am I. Yeah. No, let me loose in your bathroom, and I'd have the thing covered in hair as well. Karen can trim them, but prefers to take them to the groomers. Yeah, specialists, isn't it? I read a story once of someone who took their dog to the groomers, and when they got it home afterwards, it it wouldn't behave right. And for like a year or so, they were like, the dog's just, it doesn't like me anymore. What happened? And it turns out that two identical dogs had gone to the groomers at the same time and got swapped over. So two people had dogs that were misbehaving, and yeah, they'd been swapped at the groomers. There'd been a bit of confusion, and it was only when they went back, they happened to both have an appointment the same time. You know, a year or two later, they suddenly worked it out and got their own dogs back. Wondered why the dog wasn't responding to its name and coming to the owner. Nightmare. Tina's molten, as in a molten temper, and oh no, just the hair loss. Yeah, just the hair loss. She's a hairy beast, and it just comes out in handfuls. Like I say, it's not like you can just brush her or get it all off and you're done. It will just keep coming off forever. And then there are the specific times of year that it's even worse. So winter into spring, and summer into winter or into autumn. So as well as molting all the time, you also get the peak kind of molting. She how was it? Someone put it to me one time. She wasn't a good introductory dog for your first dog. My first dog, she wasn't ideal. Wasn't. I'm talking in the past tense already. Yeah. So she's like 50-50 with new people and with new dogs. Does she want to be best friends with them, or does she want to eat them? So that was always awkward. And then you got the hair thing. But I love it a bit. We all know this to be the case. That's a mad story. We had the dogs getting swapped at the whatever you want to call it. What was the word Karen used? Groomer. That's the word. And yeah, it literally, they're wondering. So you've got two families wondering why their dog's suddenly unhappy. And yeah. They must have looked. They must have been related, though. The dogs, do you think, to be so similar, to be so similar that like the groomers mistaken them, swapped them, and the owners haven't noticed physically. But two families wondering why their dogs are unhappy, and yeah, literally years to sort it out, figure it out. Oh wow, Karen. Karen took her cat to the cattery. When she went to pick him up, she was told that it died. A week later, they called back. Said he's alive. We just moved him to a clean kennel. Moved him to clean the kennel. Farmer thinks that Tina will eat them and then she'll be friends with them. That's so on his keyboard. Oh, that is notes, and it the doggies. Not sure, mate. Yeah, why would they say it had died? Did they just think they'd lost it or something, and they were just lying to cover with, oh, it's dead? Sorry, my eyes, folks, says Tom. Sorry, mate. It was only when the other person came back from holiday they realised it wasn't their cat. So someone else's cat had died. Mate, oh God. That kind of level of confusion and stuff, that's unforgivable, isn't it? Wow. Okay, folks, I think I made it to the 3-hour mark. I don't think we're going to go for 4. I think we're going to draw a line under it there, call it quits there. Unless anybody really wants me to go on, but didn't it happen with babies as well? Swapped. It has happened in the past, yeah. More difficult nowadays with all the precautions they take, but it can still happen. Nowadays they take footprints and probably DNA tests and all sorts, don't they? But it has happened in the past. Alright, folks. I will see whether I can get her ladyship to say goodnight. Hey, Tina. Hey, babe. Can we say goodnight to the peoples? Let's have a look here. Hey, baby. Hello there. Hey. Okay, folks. From Tina. And from me, Delta Mike. Out. Good night, folks.